Hi folks, and today we're going to follow on from the first recording video that I made the other day, and we're going to have a look at mouse modes. So this is going to deal with some of the things that you might like to do to the recordings once you've made them and how you can do them. I'll just start the screencast over here. And here's the Ardour project that we made in the last video. It's in exactly the same state as it was last time, pretty much anyway. And mouse modes change the behaviour of what the mouse does, very simply, and they're selected up here on the GUI. Most of them have shortcuts too. I'm going to start over here on the right hand side. This one that looks like a note level editing, you can see a shortcut E. I'm going to ignore that because it's to do with MIDI events, which we don't have any. And this is the draw tool, shortcut D, and also to do with editing MIDI events, and we don't have any. So coming across here, this is the listen tool, and it allows you to click on a region and listen to it. Just that. It doesn't have a shortcut. Moving to the left, the next one is the time stretch tool, shortcut T. I've pressed T to select it. You can see that the mouse head has changed shape. And what we can do now is pick up and drag a region start or region end point. As soon as we let go of the mouse, we'll bring up this dialog box, and in here we'll have different algorithms that we can apply. I've only ever used this with percussion tracks, resampling percussion tracks, and all of these options at the top 6, whatever that is, 6, will stretch a region without altering the pitch of that region. The bottom one will alter the pitch as well. I'm not going to do those, I just wanted to show you the options. The next tool along is the gain tool. The shortcut is G, which I've pressed there. Again, you can see a few things have changed. The mouse head has changed, and we've also got these green lines on the regions. We can do two things now. We can focus on the green line, wait for the mouse tool to become a slider, and drag now the line. You can see the line's gone red. We can drag that to alter the gain. The other thing we can do is we can, I'm just going to put that back to where it was. Somewhere there. Is we can, when the tool looks like this, the crosshairs, we can just drag and click and draw different gain or sort of automation there. And this is different from fader automation that we'll cover later. This is altering the gain. Quite useful. I don't tend to use it, but there we are. Next tool along, press Z for the zoom tool. You can now click and zoom on a place. Now personally I don't find this very useful because I like to use the shortcuts minus to zoom out and equals to zoom in. So those two shortcuts there, they're the same buttons that you would use, the same keys that you would use on Chrome or Firefox to zoom in and out, except without the control modifier. So there's no modifier key with these, so just the minus symbol will zoom out. There we go. I'll get that at the beginning there. The next tool along, press R, that's the shortcut, for the range tool. This is quite useful. You can now highlight areas like you would in a word processor. You click and drag to highlight an area. Once you've done that, you can right click, and this brings up a dialog. We can do a few different things. We can choose to play just the range that we've got, or loop just the range that we've got. I've never used a lot of these. I've never used a spectral analysis. These 4 options here are to do with moving the boundary of the range. So for example, I've been a little bit untidy just here, but I could, if wanted, move the range to the start of the next region boundary, and that would do nothing. Okay, maybe not then. Sorry, I've chosen the wrong one. It should have been next region boundary, of course. A couple of useful options here. Convert that was an error message there, has made that selection into its own region. I just pressed Ctrl Z there and it deleted the... oh, that was very strange. I didn't want it to do that really. It's not come up with the thing that I just did as a separate undo moment. Never mind. The other thing we can do is set the loop or the punch from the range. That's exactly what it sounds like. There we go. We can punch in, punch out there, and we can various duplications and stuff. These bottom ones I've not really looked at. I have looked at consolidate range. As far as I can tell, it does exactly the same thing as convert to region in place, but I'm not sure. Anyway, next tool is the object tool. Press O, the shortcut O for the object tool. We can do a few different things here. I just check my list now to check that I'm not missing out anything. So one thing we can do is resize. If, like here, we've got a little bit of a roll in, we can resize that so that we don't have that roll in so much if we want. We can do a fade in and fade out. There is, if we focus on the little box in the top corner there, we get the fade in, fade out tool. Now this actually looks, as you can see, like a crossfade. Now there's nothing to crossfade from, so it will actually just fade in a linear way there, as you can see. But if we put something on top of that and activate the same tool, then actually that will become a fade in, sorry, a crossfade. So what's going to happen now is it's going to fade in here, and then here we're going to hear a crossfade between the two regions. So you got the idea there. I'll just move this back over here, and I'll show you some of the other things that you can do with the object tool. We can split regions. Now the way you do this, I personally find this a little bit clunky. You put the cursor where you want the split and you press S on the keyboard, or not, of course. Things don't quite work when you want them to, do you? Sorry, it needs to be highlighted. Sorry, so this is why it went wrong. I need to click on the region I need to split, and then put the cursor where I want it and press S, and that'll split the region in two for me there. Another thing, we've covered resizing. Moving, you saw, it's okay to pick up and drag. And copying, this is really a very useful thing I find. You can copy something, like when you pick something up and drag it about, if you add control modifier, so I'm pressing the control key and doing the same thing, that will actually make a duplicate of the region, and I can do that as many times as I want. So there we go, we've had a look at the mouse object modes there. Mouse modes. We've got object mode for copying, resizing, splitting, etc. Crossfading, and that's the O shortcut. We've got the range mode for selecting a range to do things with, the R shortcut. We had the gain mode, the G shortcut, the time stretch mode, T shortcut, and the zoom mode, Z shortcut. And we also had the listen mode, which doesn't have a shortcut. I hope that's been useful, and hope you'll join me next time.